The Chainlink products lineup is stellar, but all of that infrastructure doesn't just get informed, strategized, or built up magically. You have to have stellar personnel who understand deeply the problem space for which only they are uniquely qualified to build solutions for. Here's the thing about building Oracle infrastructure that banks will trust their trillions with. This is not a typical startup problem. This is a convince the most paranoid, risk-averse people on earth to adopt your technology problem. So you need deep crypto credibility and the ability to speak Wall Street's language. Most crypto companies have one or the other. Chainlink has both. And of course, we have to begin with the leader of the pack, co-founder of Chainlink, Sergey Nazarov. Sitting in the upper echelon of memed founders in crypto. He's infamous for his blue plaid t-shirts and his Brooks Adrenaline Gore-Tex shoes. Sergey is as OG as it gets, mining Bitcoin since at least as early as 2010. But here's what separates him from most other crypto founders. He actually does founder marketing. He's relentless on the media appearances, interviews, podcasts, and even Wall Street news outlets. He's building Chainlink's credibility in both worlds, the crypto native culture and institutional business development. And he knows the art of business. Just listen to Charles Hoskinson, ex-co-founder of Ethereum, current spiritual figurehead of Cardano, talk about Sergey.
They're good negotiators. Sergey is an extremely smart man, and he's a very good businessman, and he kind of sees the future, and he knows he's sitting on a golden egg, and he knows what he's worth. And I like people like that. There's honesty in those conversations.
Oh, and there's absolutely legendary lore behind this man. Unsubstantiated, but frankly hilarious to consider, including the fact that Sergey registered the domain smartcontract.com a few days before the Bitcoin white paper was released in 2008. Or the fact that his initials are the same as Satoshi Nakamoto's, leading to the infamous meme SN equals SN. Or when asked by Lex Friedman on his podcast whether he was Satoshi Nakamoto himself, Sergey was seen to tap out on his fingers in Morse code S and N.
Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? There's quite a few people who suggest that person is you. So, is it you?
No.
Who do you think it could be?
I don't know who it is. I think if I had to guess, it's probably a group of people, some of which might not even be around anymore, which I'm not, by the way. I am not this person.
But if you were?
Wild? Yes. Unsubstantiated? Absolutely. But entertaining? You bet. But a man does not a company make. And here's where Chainlink separates itself from the rest of the pack of crypto projects with charismatic founders, but low to no substance. Building institutional-grade Oracle infrastructure requires serious academic firepower, the kind of credibility that makes banks and central banks actually pick up the phone. Enter Ari Juels, Chainlink's current chief scientist. Just check out his resume. Current professor at Cornell Tech, co-director of the Initiative for Cryptocurrencies and Contracts, or the IC3, that has been doing serious crypto academic work since at least 2015. And also, he's contributed deep research work in the field of RSA cryptography. And here's the absolute banger. Ari Juels co-formalized the concept of proof of work. Yes, the same proof of work used by Bitcoin in a paper written in 1999. 9 years before Bitcoin. Let that sink in. The cryptographic foundation that's currently securing hundreds of billions of dollars, perhaps even trillions, that Bitcoin and Ethereum was built on. Ari Juels helped invent it before most crypto founders were even thinking about computer science. This man has been building the cryptographic bedrock of this industry longer than most people have even known crypto exists. And to this day, he continues to contribute to cutting-edge research efforts at Chainlink, including Deco and fair sequencing services. But wait, there's more. You know a company has serious pedigree when you are strategically advised by former CEO of Google and kingmaker Eric Schmidt. Just listen to Eric Schmidt talk about Sergey and the Chainlink brand strategy.
And these are network businesses, so once you get a little bit ahead, it's very hard to catch up to the person ahead of you. And now in your case, because you were early and very smart, obviously, you got in there first. So you see it from the standpoint of the person who's ahead. Because in your vision, Web3 will be universal across the globe. It'll be used in some form by almost everyone. So one way to, when we initially were doing Google, our goal was, we want a little piece of Google in everyone's computation, right? So for example, the DNS that you use is almost certainly the Google DNS, right? Google, roughly a third of the world's internet traffic goes through, I think that's still the number, through Google Fiber. You would never know that. Now, are these gifts to the world? Yes, thank you very much. But they were also in our direct financial interest because it meant that we knew what was going on.
Yeah, having a piece of computation of every computation is a good idea. I'm on board.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that plan. It's a solid plan.
Yes. Is there any particular reason why you can't just announce that that's your plan right now to your customers? We want everyone here to have a piece of Chainlink in everything that you do.
Let me be clear. When the guy who scaled Google thinks your crypto infrastructure play is important enough to be advised on, you're no longer building a meme coin. You're building critical, pivotal crypto infrastructure. Beyond those three heavyweights, Chainlink boasts a supporting cast that is second to none in crypto, including Steve Ellis, the other Chainlink co-founder who's leading engineering at the company, Balaji Srinivasan, former CTO of Coinbase and well-known Twitter polymath, and founder of the Network State Movement, who also happens to be a strategic advisor for Chainlink.
So that means crypto wallets can control real resources in the physical world. And in fact, of course they will, because every Web 2 piece of software gets hacked, but Web 3 doesn't. So in the fullness of time, anything that you really care about will be protected with on-chain security.
And absolutely legendary Chainlink evangelists on Twitter like Chainlink God, aka Zach Rhines, the Crypto Oracle, and Fishy Catfish. This isn't your typical crypto team hyping vaporware on crypto Twitter. And they're building infrastructure that's already in production, securing hundreds of billions of dollars. Most crypto projects, they talk about enterprise adoption and institutional partnerships, but Chainlink's team actually has the credibility and the technical chops to walk through those stores, sit down at the table, and close the goddamn deal.